back to the channel. In this video, I'll be explaining how I made about $5,800 today with options trading. Jumping right into it, I haven't explained this before, but this is where you would go to put in your ticker symbol. As you can see, I have Tesla at the top. At the top left, you will see all the things you would need as far as charts and tools. You're going to see that is going to be the ticker pricing, the stock price. You're going to see the highs, the lows as well. And then on the right side, you're going to see studies. You're going to also see time setups. You're going to see the styles, the drawings, patterns. And then on the right side vertically, you're going to see all these different buttons you can press for dashboard and understanding charts as well. The very bottom, you will see volume. That's going to be all these blue bars you see at the bottom. Within that, you will also see the high and you will see the low for this stock. And again, I have this on the weekly chart, so it's going to give you a clear picture of the high and the low for the stock for the weekly. So this is also going to be a place where you can use time frames. You can set them up to be customized to whatever you'd like. Simply click time frame, click custom. You can set the time period, and then you can also set the amount of minutes or hours that you would want for your time frame, and then click OK. But I already have favorites selected, so I like to just stick to the ones that I use. Primarily like to use the 1 minute, and you can see that this is going to be the one I focus on for today. So I'm going to zoom it in so you guys can get a clearer picture. And this is actually current on what's happening right now in the market. You can see I zoomed in so you guys can see what's happening as far as the Tesla stock and what's it doing right at this very moment. You can see the volume's very low, but it looks like it's climbing. But it's staying within that kind of choppy zone where it's just up and down. It's not really doing too much movement. So we're going to take a look at the 5-minute chart. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys see this. Again, highs and lows. Within that, you're going to also take a look at the 15-minute chart. Again, I'm trying to do this so you guys can see a consistency in what the stock is doing. I zoomed it in so you guys can see here. Again, the level of volume is going to kind of dictate for me. That's the biggest indicator along with RSI, which I'll have in the next video, but I didn't want to focus too much on too many indicators. Just want you guys to see. So we're going to take a look at lunchtime and see how I made the profit. So starting here at the bottom, you're going to see that 172 range, and we also are going to look at how it climbed up to that 173 range. Now, $1 as far as stock motion doesn't seem like much, but if you know what you're doing, you can make considerable profits. So you guys know I like to, again, show you different time frames so you can see how this was broken down. So I showed you guys on the 5-minute chart what this is going to look like in terms of how I decided to make the entry into this play. So taking a look again, that 173, you see the volume, okay? The 169, I seen a range. Again, that's going to be your support and resistance. That's how you identify those things, and I talked about that in the last video. So zooming in, again, you see that high level of volume. I'm focusing on that because that, again, is an indicator to tell you if you should likely jump in that trade, given the fact that you have at least 2 other indicators, okay? So take a look at pretty much how you see support and resistance for this particular frame of time, this zone of time you see on the screen. That's going to be how I was able to make profits twice off Tesla today. So we're at March 25th. You can see around lunchtime. And then just a few moments ago, well, this will be put up later, so the time will be off. But again, the afternoon, early afternoon and late afternoon were the profits for Tesla just based on understanding volume. So now I'm going to go to Apple. So let's take a look at Apple for today. Now, I have it set to the 1-minute chart, zooming in. You guys are going to see, taking a look at the time periods. I'm going to zoom in to right before lunchtime, okay? So we're going to take a focus on about 11, and we're going to look at how the stock pretty much consistently showed me a couple clues that it was going to do some motion. And what that meant for me was that it was a good time to enter. So we're going to look at 11:30. Okay, I see 11:30. There was a volume drop. That let me know a few things, okay? So I went ahead and placed my trade. I was able to kind of ride this out. I had some stragglers, and basically what stragglers are is if you put your play in motion, you usually have at least 1 or 2 that you're continuing to hold on to just to kind of see what they do as far as motion. You just pretty much ride them out, okay? So that's all that means. So you guys can see these different places that I went. Apple, I didn't make too much, so I just kept it moving. From here, I'm going to go to Amazon. You guys will see. There we go. So now we're going to take a look at Amazon. Okay. So Amazon, again, is a stock that I don't too typically like to trade as often as I used to. But you can see that Amazon is actually pretty good for today. I think taking a look back at it now that I'm looking at it again, it wasn't a bad play at all. But anyways, okay, I'm getting off track. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the highs and lows. We see the 179. That's going to be our support that I took a look at. We see that volume was really, really high at 2 p.m. So that kind of gave me a clue to know what was going to happen. Again, it's all about indicators. Everything is about understanding the charts, understanding the patterns, and that volume is so very, very important. I can't stress it enough. I'll make a video specifically dedicated to understanding volume so that if anyone is wondering, what exactly that means, again, it's just a fancy way of saying this is the number of trades that are in motion at one particular given point in time. That's all it is, okay? So now we're looking at the 5-minute chart. You guys can see Amazon. I was just pretty much at this point analyzing different plays, different stocks, and seeing what was the higher RSIs for anything or low RSIs for anything. Again, it's just kind of choppy at this point in time because it's the day of time of trading. So nothing too crazy going on here. I did again have some stragglers that I left for pretty much all the stock trades I entered today. So that's always beneficial. You don't want to leave too much on the table, so definitely make a point. And then I just touched points on 181 just to kind of show you guys that 179 mark as well. And then showing you that range for that. Again, the volume is very low, so at this time you're not going to get a whole bunch of motion, which is expected. So that's pretty much that. From here, I took it back to Tesla because I wanted to kind of point something out for you guys. So taking a look at Tesla again, we're going to look at pretty much, what I wanted to pinpoint for this. Okay, so a lot of times people will ask me, especially looking at it now, you see how it's kind of just being choppy. Equilibrium is going to be a thing that a lot of people are wondering about. You guys see I go back to that volume. Okay, a volume is huge. Again, that was at the start of the market, but that's just something I'll have within another video. But when you see equilibrium happen, it is possible to make profits. You just essentially have to know what you're reading and then understand dojis, because I explained that in the last video as well. But I'm going to go deeper into it in another video. I'm going to dedicate a video to dojis as well because there's so many different ways that you guys can essentially make money. But again, you see how I rolled this up all the way up there. That's going to be one of the key factors in understanding how I was able to make the profits for today. I rolled that particular stock all the way up based on that uptrend that I saw. And essentially, you just let it ride like I did. You guys can see me pinpointing different entry level there. And then, of course, you got to make sure you understand what you're doing. Kept a few going. Touch point there. Exited for some of them. But I kept it going. Now, again, when you look at this range here, I essentially only have maybe 2 or 3 positions left. So that's how you just add it on. Now by here, I was already making sure I understood what goes up must come down. So I didn't put in for a ton of puts at this point, but got a few that made profits as well. So it added to the daily profit. So that was good. Nothing too crazy, but that volume was pretty high. So that's what led me to believe that everything would play out the way it should. Yeah, and then you can see how it's just moving and the motion is going. So that is everything for this particular video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.